Hi, hello, namaste friends. Welcome to our channel Ace Civil Engineer. For more interesting videos like this, please do subscribe and press the bell icon. In this video, let us quickly start about what is an expansion joint and how is this provided in different buildings, whether either it could be of concrete or steel. So friends, let us start with the basic question: what is an expansion joint and why is this provided? So firstly, I am going to explain what is an expansion joint. An expansion joint is a periodic gap which is provided in basically all the structures of buildings, and this is a gap in any building structure provided by engineers like us, or basically by the architects as well, to allow for the movement of the building during temperature changes. So this is basically found in various sections of the structure. Either it could be in slab or in bridges, etc. In different cases we do find this. So something like this, see here I have shown you one picture of a bridge expansion joint which is something like this, and whereas in concrete building you would be seeing something like this. This is the slab expansion joint which has been provided like this. So now let us understand why we do need to provide this expansion joint. For suppose I am taking a beam which is like this, which is having no restraint at the both the ends. Just an imaginary beam I am just considering. Don't ask me about the supports. Okay. So here what happens when a temperature change I have applied, and this is basically made of some concrete material. In such case what happens, it has some thermal expansion capacity. There is some thermal expansion coefficient of this material. So whatever it could be per degree centigrade is the mm per degree centigrade, so is the basic unit of this thermal expansion coefficient. So based on this thermal expansion coefficient, what happens, this beam will try to expand in both the sides. But whereas if you are trying to restrain it, this case I am explaining, if you are trying to restrain it by providing some fixed ends at both these vents, then what happens friends, you are not allowing it to expand. Though you are seeing some thermal expansion, but you are restraining the movement at the fixed ends. So what happens, within the beam you will see some compressive stress being generated. So this compressive stress will be generated, and this is the thermal stress which has been generated. So this thermal stress, what happens, if it is induced or if it has been generated in a particular beam, then for suppose if the beam is weaker in compression or it has already reached the maximum compressive stress due to bending, in such case what happens, this will try to fail at the compression point of. If not, what happens, if you are allowing it to freely expand, then what happens, you will not be seeing any trouble, and happily it can take the load whatever you have applied. So this is the reason why we provide this expansion joint. Here indirectly you have created an expansion space for it. Here also you have provided an expansion space. So this expansion space is allowing this member to expand freely. That is the reason why we do provide this expansion joint, friends. Now let us understand how we need to provide this expansion gap. So this expansion gap for buildings, basically some guidelines have been given by Indian standard codes. So here those Indian standard codes are IS 456 2000 for concrete, IS 800 for 2007 published, that is for steel. And also this code clearly explains you IS 3414. This is the code of practice for design and installation of joints in buildings. In this you will be seeing all types of joints, friends. You either it could be a construction joint, or you can see a expansion joint, and many types of joints, and how you need to provide, and a typical understanding of how at a typical understanding of this expansion joint at different places. Like if you are providing at the columns, if you are providing at the slab level, if you are providing at the roof, they have clearly shown you some pictures how you need to give the expansion joint. So for that also you can refer this IS 3414. So these three codes I have given you in the description of this video, friends. If you want, you can definitely go through that codes, and you can download it as well. So let us see what IS 456 mentions about this expansion joint. It tells us that this expansion joint need to be provided in various buildings where you see some irregular plan shapes. In such case, where all of a sudden, like something I consider this kind of plan shape, in such case we have to provide some 10 gaps here. These gaps could be either called as seismic gaps, or else expansion gaps, but these both does not mean for the same reason, but seismic gaps are different, and which I have, for this I have already made a separate video, and you can see it in the description for that link as well. So in this case also you need to provide some expansion gaps here to ensure that there is no stress concentration at this area. So if you don't provide here expansion joint, what happens, this tries to expand in this direction, and in this bay of, or this wing of the building tries to expand. So here what happens, a huge concentration of thermal stress gets generated. So that you need to keep it in mind. Now coming to the other point here is, see here I have shown you one case where it is a single structure. This complete elevation what I have shown is a single structure, and here I have provided an expansion joint. So this expansion joint is basically provided considering that you have an enough space for both these structures to expand in this direction and also in this direction. See friends, this you have, you know, the length at which you need to provide this expansion joint should not be greater than 45 meters. For suppose one module, this single one is a one module, this is a second module. So this, in case of RCC structures, this should not exceed 45 meters, and this also should not exceed 45 meters. But IS code is not ordering or commanding you to kind of follow this 45 meters. This is completely based on the discretion of the designers. So what you need to understand here is, considering various factors like which are involved in deciding the location, spacing, and nature of expansion joints, the provision of the expansion joint in RCC structures should be left to the engineer's understanding or engineer's wish. But at the same time you also need to consider that this should not be greater than 45 meters, and also certain factors depends friends. What are like, for suppose at what temperature you have laid the concrete, that is one factor, and the other thing is at what exposure weather condition this structure is existing in. So based on these factors also we have to understand whether the provision of expansion joint is necessary or not. If it is necessary, at what location and at what distance we need to provide. So these are the things what IS code clearly mentions friends. So here if you see, this is an expansion gap of some dimension, consider this as S. So this S should accommodate the distance or accommodate the spacing for both these structures to freely expand, and at the same time these should not be pounding to each other either in the seismic action or due to wind lateral forces. This is the criteria what you need to consider for concrete structures. Now coming to steel structures, for that you need to see IS 800 2007. So here the details as to the length of the structure at which we need to provide the expansion joint has been divided into two cases. One is where you have only one bay which has been braced, and here the second case is where you have two bays which are braced. So let us see for the first case where you have to provide expansion joint here uh, and here. So at these two locations you need to provide expansion joint for a module which is having a single bay which is braced, and that too at the center. In such case friends, the length of the structure, length of that module has been restrained to a maximum of 180 meters. This is valid only for structures which are covered structures, means which are having a clear cladding. In such cases only this 180 meters is to be followed. For suppose if you don't have any cladding to that structure, for suppose maybe it could be a pipe rack or a gantry structure, in such case what happens friends, it should be restrained to or retained till 120 meters, and it should not exceed beyond that. Now the other provision what has been provided by IS 800 for the second case is, this is the case where we do have two bracing bays, and for that what it has mentioned is these two bracing bays should not be having a clear horizontal distance beyond 50 meters, and this is valid only for an closed structure. For suppose if this is an open structure, then this need to be restrained to 30 meters only. And at the same time, the free end, I mean beyond this right side bay, you have to go to a maximum of 90 meters only, and beyond that you have to provide an expansion joint. So this 90 meters is restrained to 60 meters if this is an open structure. Open structure in the sense, what I mean is for pipe racks or gantry structures. Same way in the left side also, this can be maximum maintained or retained till 60 meters. So from here, what do you understand, friends? If the structure is a closed structure, or else if the structure was having some cladding all round, in such case what happens, your total length of that module can be restrained up to 90 plus 50 plus 90. So altogether it is up to 230 meters. So if this was an open structure, then this should be retained till 60 meters plus 30 meters plus 60 meters. So altogether what happens, friends? 120 plus 30 is 150 meters. So this is the maximum dimension till which you can maintain a maintain the length of the steel structure. Now you may ask me a doubt, sir. If the plan of this building is very huge and in both the directions I am having a dimension of greater than 150 meters, then what happens? Then I would recommend you to provide the expansion joint in both the directions in the plan. For suppose this was your structure which is having a huge dimension which is greater than 150, and this is also greater than 150, and it is an open structure, then I would recommend you to provide an expansion joint somewhere here in between, and here also, and here also. So this has to be made into 4 different modules, friends. And at last, when you are following these all guidelines which has been provided by this code, then you need not consider the thermal stresses, or the thermal force need not be used in analyzing the structure. So this is a key important point, friends, which will be helping us in making some economical design of structures. So that's it, friends. This is all about what the concrete structures length is restrained to, and what the steel structures or steel buildings length is restrained to for provision of an expansion joint. Hope you understood this. Thank you very much. That's all about this video, friends and family members. If you had any comments, queries, or if you had any topics in your wish list, then please do let me know by commenting in the comment section. I hope you liked the video. If yes, please do like it. I will be creating more interesting videos like this. Please do subscribe to get updated as soon as I keep posting videos. Share my video to all your friends and family members. Don't forget to press the bell icon.